What's going on? What is going on? Welcome back to CEO Lifestyle with your host, Smooth Blaze. Now, before we get into any major points for this week, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, select all so you will not miss one single video. Now for episode 7. But before we get into that, what did we discuss a couple weeks ago? A solid foundation. When you look at your organization, do you have the key elements that make your foundation of your business great, or does it cause a deterrence to the legacy of what you're building? So a solid foundation, if you missed that video, make sure you check it out and tell me what your points and what your comments are to it. Now this week, what we'll be focusing on will be the idea of accountability. This may be like a cuss word to some people, but accountability is necessary not only in your personal life, but in business and also in corporate. So as we reflect and understand what accountability means, what I've learned and did research on, and this was a good definition that fits what we would like to bring to the table on this week. It is an obligation to take ownership over your actions, decisions, or outcomes, and to answer them to others. The idea of being accountable is being able to stand on business, say what you mean what you say, take responsibility and accountability for the decisions that you make, and you have to answer somebody. Those are things that make things work when you talk about being accountable. There are at least 5 C's of accountability that I did a little research on to understand what they mean so that we can make sure in business, in personal, or working for an employer that we're making sure we take care of business on. The first component will be clarity. This is defined by roles, goals, standards, and employees' expectations. You have to have clear-cut expectations so that we'll know where we're going versus where we need to be and how can we get to that point. Next component will be commitment, which includes taking ownership. This ensures each of the team members take ownership of what goals and agree to the task that are necessary for us to do. You have to be in line and committed to what your job description entails from a personal perspective or a business perspective. This way you'll know what you're doing versus what you don't need to do. Communication. Communication is essential to the growth and the elevation of anything. What this means is it encourages open, consistent feedback and transparency, updates of what the expectations are, and arise problems. When you're communicating, you make sure that it's in line with what you're not on the goals and the framework you have in place. But if there's issues, let people know and give feedback so we can know how to better navigate or better to adjust. Collaboration. This is essential. It's important for you to be able to work well with others, provide coaching, and remove any roadblocks a team may have. When we work collaboratively, you're good in this area, I'm good in this area, and she's good in that. When you have a team that works together, you cross your T's and dot all your I's. Having a new set of eyes on a one project allows you to think of things differently. Coaching ensures that you're getting the proper guidance from an individual that knows what they're doing. So those are important aspects when you're dealing with a team. And the final thing would be this. The 5th C would be consequences. Basically results. Recognizing what positive achievements and providing corrective action when things aren't done properly. So that's another example will be if you're getting a performance evaluation. They list off the great attributes that you work on. However, they also list off the areas where you need to make improvements and make those logical decisions that will make your outcome better. So understanding the 5 C's accountability is essential not only from the employer's perspective, but also from the employee's perspective. So look at all these things, elaborate on that, and discuss. Another component of accountability is why accountability in the workplace matters. We got to understand the reasoning as to why accountability should be in place in a workplace, personal, professional, whatever business you are, and you have to be accountable for these things. First, building trust. You have to be able to build camaraderie amongst employees, employers, your vendors, or whatever you're working with. This allows for a smooth transition on getting projects done or getting different, meeting different ballparks. Next would be improving performance. You have to understand the culture of the organization, personal and private. Understand the culture of your household and how you could be more effective and efficient. What can you cut back on? And this helps eliminate confusion. It saves time, allows individual to meet clear, defined expectations. Another component of accountability and why it matters in the workplace, strengthens culture. Every organization, personal, even in your household, there's a culture that you create. So in order for everybody to be in line with the culture, it makes accountability a requirement. If these are your morals and character, this is how it should be in this household. Or if you're in your corporation, these are the standards that we follow. This should be in line, which allows everybody to be on one accord without any discord or any dysfunction. Another component, or the final component, deals with better compliance. A vital part of any organization is being in compliance with the governmental, local, and statewide regulations, right? In your household, there are certain rules and regulations you have to follow. So you have to make sure that your employers are accountable for every single decision that they make. And whatever decision that they make, there's going to be an essential reaction to it, either positive or negative. If you start to steal money from a company, you know you're going to be fired. You know there could be legal fees, and you know that you possibly go to jail. So understand the importance of having better compliance. Now that we understand the 5 C's of accountability and why accountability is important to the workplace, ask yourself a few questions before you look at your business. 1, does your organization take ownership in what they produce? Something you really need to think about. Another question could be, are issues called out or swept under the rug? When you have issues or conflict, it's important for it to be brought to the table and hashed out, and so we can move forward. Is the culture a positive reflection of accountability? We have organizations and businesses that are good, some are toxic. You have to understand whether or not it's a positive effect or a negative effect, because when you look at accountability, is accountability really looked at in a positive way, in a positive light, or is accountability overlooked where anything goes? Lastly, what happens when accountability is destroyed in an organization? How does the lack of accountability affect your organization? Does it bring out the best in your customers? Does it bring out the best in your employees, the best in management, or does it cause destruction? These are things you have to look at and really ask yourself, how can we improve and what needs to be taken out? As we close, I would like to take the time out to thank you for checking out my channel. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, select all, so you will not miss one single video. Now before we go, just please remember this simple phrase. We cannot control the hand that was dealt for us, but we can move with purpose. This is CEO Lifestyle with Smooth Blaze, and I am signing out. Peace.